so I don't have to do these twice. Today are your announcements. It is March the 9th, 2016. It's Wednesday, and I'm just doing these different today for whatever reason. I don't know why. So first of all, prom tickets are on sale. The prom is April the 9th at 7 p.m. Mr. Lamy sent out an email about this. Just go into your email, go to the search at the very top and type in prom tickets, and you'll see the email from Mr. Lamy. If you don't see it for whatever reason, email Mr. Lamy. He will tell you how to purchase your prom tickets, which I think are $20 a piece. If they're 25, don't get mad at me. I don't remember. I think they're $20. I should have looked it up, but since I'm standing up here at my board, can't really go do that. Ms. Settlemeyer's having meetings with sophomores this week, with freshmen next week. These are people who will be juniors next year, and then people who will be sophomores next year. Attend one of those meetings because it's where you pick out your classes and all that sort of stuff. And if you don't attend the meetings, then we'll just pick for you. How do you like that? And we'll pick wisely, but you won't have a say in it. And you can't come back later and change all your classes because you were too irresponsible to have a meeting. Not to be harsh, but just to be honest. Next, graduation is May 20th at 7 p.m. And everybody's invited, of course, in the words of Lando Calrissian. But you can come there and watch people graduate, hoot and holler, have some hors d'oeuvres, and then meet pretty much every teacher at Tops has to come to that. And we're all dressed up in our academic regalia, which are those silly robes that we wear. I don't like them. I don't usually like a lot of traditional stuff, but I like wearing a robe that one night. Not like all the time. Word of the day. It's a word I want you to never use because it's a useless word. The word is utilize. You know what utilize means? It means use. So why would you use a 3-syllable word when you can use a 1-syllable word? You would not. And I realize it's very Ernest Hemingway of me to say, but there's no point to ever use the word utilize. Just say use, because that's what it means. It doesn't mean anything other than what use means. Do not use utilize. Do not utilize utilize. Because if you utilize, you're utilizing the wrong word. Because it's use. That's just my advice. All right, now the thought for the day is to defeat the whelm. What does that mean? Well, one sort of salient thing I've noticed, one sort of, I don't know, it's a thing, right? In Tops. Here's what happens. I'm going to try to illustrate this. Come back, camera. So you've got Johnny here. It's always Johnny, right? Yeah. So Johnny is on track. Johnny gets all of his work done every week. He has perfect attendance. He does everything he's supposed to. And as Johnny moves on through life, something happens. Johnny gets sick. Johnny goes on vacation during the middle of the year. I never get it when people do that, but not judging. I don't get the people that go on vacation during the middle of the year and don't take their laptop and do work while they're there. Because I've been on vacation before, a lot of downtime. You're not packed from 8 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock at night. But anyway, I digress. Something happens. And now, Johnny is behind. So, that's very common at Tops. Johnny's on track. Something happens. Johnny's behind. So, this causes a lot of different things. Because you can have a couple of different responses to being behind. One response to being behind is you work harder and you get caught up. Now, that's what seems logical. That's what seems normal. That's what seems like anybody would do. But it's not what anybody does. So what happens? So you got Johnny over here. He's behind. So Johnny's got a lot of options. So let's see what the options are. Work extra. Get caught up. That happens some. I'm always happy when that happens. That solves the problem, right? Because then, if you do that, Johnny's back on track again, right? So if Johnny's back on track, Johnny's happy again. Johnny might do some other things that aren't so good. Avoid all work because it's overwhelming. That's very common. It's common for students when they're way behind, maybe even just a week behind, to avoid all their work because it's overwhelming. It's a human response. It's called the fight or flight response. This is the flight response. You avoid everything. You run away from it. But does that solve your problem? What output does that get you? It's a long neck. Frowny face. That's the output that you get from that. Another common thing to being behind is to avoid all contact with tops. It's like you're hiding from your problems. So here you're avoiding all your work. Down here you're avoiding all your work and all contact with us. You're not talking to us. You're not talking to your teachers. You're not talking to administration. You're not talking to anybody and letting us know what's going on. So what does that yield? Frowny face again. Because then, after a few weeks, you start getting letters from us that you're in trouble for truancy. So, when you're behind, just work extra hard and get caught up. That's all you have to do. That's the solution to your problem. That's all you have to do. Not that hard. Hope you enjoyed the announcements today. I'll see how they looked. Y'all have a good day.